And China's top diplomat is in Seoul and will be meeting President Lee Jae Myung and National Security Advisor Sung-lac later today, following talks with Foreign Minister Cho Hyun on bilateral ties and North Korea. Our Oh Soo-young has the details of their meeting.
Seoul has called on Beijing to help bring North Korea back to dialogue and support efforts towards denuclearization as Seoul and Beijing seek to fully restore bilateral ties. Foreign Minister Cho Hyun and his Chinese counterpart Wang Yi met in Seoul on Wednesday for their first foreign ministers' talks in 11 months. The two sides once again maintained their respective positions on North Korea.
As much as President Lee Jae Myung presented a blueprint for peaceful coexistence on the Korean Peninsula in his recent Liberation Day address, the government will continue working toward the denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula and the achievement of peace.
Cho asked Beijing to play a constructive role in securing Pyongyang's return to talks. According to Seoul's readout, Wang said China's policy remained consistent and pledged to keep playing a constructive role in promoting peace and stability.
We also hope that South Korea and North Korea can gradually move along the path towards peace and coexistence, and sincerely wish for the continued stability and development of the Korean Peninsula.
The Chinese minister, however, did not mention denuclearization. As Wang left his meeting, he told media that renewed dialogue was a matter for the United States and North Korea to decide. He placed the onus on Washington, saying it must change its long-standing hostile policy towards North Korea.
In wanting to maintain some form of trilateral alignment among North Korea, China, and Russia, this is not necessarily disadvantageous for China in building a front against the U.S. Thus, China has no reason to step in directly and try to persuade North Korea.
This highlights lingering differences between Seoul and Beijing amid deepening US-China rivalry over regional security and technology. Still, both sides have sought to rebuild cooperation, with the ministers saying that there was steady improvement in their bilateral ties following reciprocal state visits by their leaders.
This marks Wang's first official visit to Korea in almost 5 years and comes ahead of the two countries' 34th anniversary of diplomatic relations, which falls on August 24th.
The ministers agreed to use next year's 35th anniversary to elevate their ties, focusing on services and investment negotiations under the bilateral free trade agreement, supply chain stability, people-to-people and cultural exchanges, bringing pandas to Korea, and preserving Korean independence movement sites in China. Looking ahead, Wang said Beijing was considering another summit if President Lee attends the APEC meeting in Shenzhen this November. Wang also invited Cho to China at a mutually convenient time. Oh Soo-young, ArirangNews.